keep my faith in him, cause people lie and be different. They will say whatever, but their spirit ain't disciplined. They will tear you down in the spirit of hypocrite. Still gotta hold your crown and forgive them for ignorance. They lack in understanding, plus the fact I'm compassionate. To some with no discernment, they may see clear advantages, but it's some people purpose to cause others some damages. If you encounter a serpent, you be still, let them handle it. I strive to be a man of God, strive to protect and to provide. I pray I always be around. Sometimes this world can get you down. I strive to be a man of God, honor my father and my mom, and I pray they always be around. I hope to never let them down. I strive to be a man of God. That's why I be in them verses, avoiding them curses, avoiding the hair bust, avoiding them hearses, avoiding that left bus. Focus on my purpose. He said he gon' bless us. Creation said let us, and yeah, and I'm cashing that. Where is your passion at? A fear I ain't having that. Catch me on my acrobat. If I ain't flipped it, I'm taxing that. You ain't got to imagine that. Just get you an action plan. Just make you some prayer time. Investment that pays with time. Repentance can save your life. That sentence can save your life. Y'all play games, don't play with minds. Y'all play games, don't play with it. Correction, my favorite. Mustard seed, I stay with it. Bet I made, I lay in it.
Just realized I got the wrong, what do you call it? I got the wrong graphic up. But I'm here. This ain't the wrong day. There goes the right one. Let me double check that. Yeah, I'm supposed to have that one in there. Guess that didn't work out for me. Still gonna check it. Hope everybody's okay. Hope everybody is okay. See if there's a way for me to put this up here. I want to change it to the right one. Let's see if it works. Let's see. That was the right one. This one was the right one, but nonetheless, we're already here. So, day 6, pretty interesting experience so far. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges this week for myself. I'm sure you guys have just as much challenges for yourselves as well. So, but the key is to overcome those challenges and get through to the next phase and the next phase and next phase. And now we're almost at the end. And this is where all the money is made. This is where, the cookies are made, so to speak, pun intended. Had some emails about some people that was, very lightheaded for the fast, that they've been experiencing a lot of lightheadedness and a lot of things like that. Hey, when we're addicted to sugar, this is what's going to happen. Ultimately, that's what it is. We're addicted to sugars. And when you cut sugars out, when you cut carbs out like that, when you cut the rice, the beans, the potatoes, the bread, the dairies and all that stuff, you are going to experience a lot of discomfort. It's part of detoxing. So unfortunately, I have given advice to make sure you're careful about everything. If you gotta skip the herbs for one day, or if you gotta skip the capsules for a day, or I would suggest you continue with the fruits and the greens and the vegetables and whole grains. Ooh, I'm a bit tired. This happens when you get up early. And then the whole grains, and even if you want something more substantial to make you feel more fulfilled, just try to stay. Just don't give in to the craving of the breads. Don't give in to the carbs. Don't give in to the starches, to the dairy, to the things that we already know are not healthy for us in general. There's no reason to compromise ourselves and to go in that direction. Okay. I'm excited for the team here, everybody that's here, that is going to be finishing up the program tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's live is going to be at 8 p.m. Slightly after sundown, because it's the Sabbath tomorrow. We're going to rest a bit, but also I have some certificates for those who are in the program and who are finishing the program. I do have a certificate for you. Let's see if I can see if I can get those up here so you can see how they look. I'm excited about them. All right. Let's see if I can show that on my screen now. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Yeah, so this is a example of one of the certificates. As you can see there, that is an example of that. That's one of the persons that that completed the certificate overall. So I'm excited to give these certificates out to the people who have them. Very excited. So congratulations for everyone who's sticking through this process. I know it's not easy. I know it is ultimately it is a challenge, but I'm grateful that here so you guys can see. I'll show a couple of the people. That's another one of the certificates there. She's graduating. This is another one for somebody else. See, they're nice. They're nice. So I'm glad to be able to be presenting these certificates to the graduates of the program. And we are going to start another program for next month. So we are going to start the promotion on the program for next month fairly soon. We only gave ourselves about a week to market this specific fast. So it was a bit last minute, but we're getting through it, even if we're doing it on the last limb, on a whim. Again, we are going to reiterate the last 2 days that make sure that we're going to stay on point here on what the regiment consists of, okay? So initially, we're doing liquid mornings until 12 o'clock, 3 types of liquid: water, liquids high in antioxidity like teas, herbs, capsules. And then we shift into electrolytes toward closer to that 12 p.m. Time frame. And then we shift over into fruits until 2 o'clock, preferably melons and berries. Melons because they're hydrating, and berries because of their antioxidity. They help clean the blood out. And it's one of the most important things that we want to do during this fast is make sure we get some blood cleaning in, make sure that we're helping the blood flow, because that's where the oxygen is distributed to all of the body. So we don't want the blood to be too toxic, too thick, too anything. Then we go green foods from 2 to 4 o'clock. Raw salads are suggested. Also cooked greens if you want. The more sturdy greens would be better for the cooked greens, like the collard greens, the turnip greens, the mustard greens, the kale greens, and the cabbage. Then we're going to go vegetables till 6 with rotating whole grains. Again, whole grains give you that fulfillment. They also help clean the colon because they stay whole through the entire digestive process. And then the vegetables like mushrooms, tons of electrolytes and good brain food, but also, plenty guacamole. You get your healthy fats and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Absolutely no gluten, no starch, no dairy. That's why we're pretty much in the predicament that we're in the first place. Eating too much gluten, starch, and dairy is what's compromising us, helping for us to break down our own bodies, break down in digestive organs, break down in different systems in the body. We are getting clogged up. That's turning into plaque or calcification, which is causing much more serious problems. Okay. As always, a good start to the day is very important. We did start the day well. We are already about that much left on our water for the day so far. So we drank quite a bit and had a tea today as well. Um, I just had a few little pumpkin seeds. I skipped the fruits, to be honest, today. I skipped the fruits, but I did start some pumpkin seeds, some organic little pumpkin seeds for now, just snacking on something a little bit more substantial, even myself. Carries good calcium, good dietary fiber, good iron. Okay. And even still, with that said, although the beginning of the day is very important, the end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day. So look, we're about 2:11 Central Time right now. You guys should be somewhere between your greens right now, eating your greens right now, somewhere in the midday. You should be hydrated. You shouldn't feel too hungry, man. You know, when you're drinking a lot of water, your body's usually hydrated. You shouldn't be too hungry unless you have cravings. And that's what we're trying to control. Okay. Ooh, man, today's the day. It's the end of the week. It's Friday. Friday. Can't wait to get some rest on a Sabbath day. But for sure, we're over the hump. We're over the hump. We are past. This is day 6. Tomorrow to be the final day, and then you zone out. And I would not suggest that you change your regimen too quickly and just ease into it. But don't start eating candies and cookies and all this stuff. Don't make it feel like, oh my God, I haven't had bread in a whole week. I get it, but don't go and get you a big stuffed double crust pizza. Don't give up your progress. Hold the fort steady. Okay. If you guys do have any questions or concerns or inquiries, feel free to reach out to me directly at thefranco@thenaturalbranches.com for any of your holistic health questions so that we can try to guide you in the right direction. If there are any questions online, I see we got some people here on YouTube, a couple people on Facebook, a couple people on X. So if anybody does have a question, feel free to ask. It would be nice if we did have a question online. And I know it seems like I'm just here bored by myself, but all the videos are getting taken a look at even after the fact by the people who are in the program. This was really, these lives are really for the people who have subscribed to the program. I just happen to be doing them live publicly so others can see the level of engagement and whatnot in during these programs. They're not necessarily made to be live. These, normally we'll keep them in Zoom or we'll keep them in a private setting, but we just decided to do them. We decided to do them publicly so that other people can benefit off of the engagement. How do you feel about flavored carbonated water? I like carbonated water to a certain extent. Carbonating meaning oxygenated. I would check the ingredients on it. I assume 99 of 100 things that we drink are probably worse than carbonated water. So I wouldn't stress it too much. I would check the ingredients though. If there's like high levels of sugar in it or something like that, I would probably avoid drinking too much of that. Maybe a snack here and there, a good job here and there. But if it does have some pretty good ingredients, I like carbonated water. Like I said, it's a good choice of water overall. So I wouldn't be completely against it. Thank you for the question there, Wanda. Wandy. And you know what, Wandy? Here, let me show you. Wandy Ortiz. Because we sure have something for you when you finish the program. Sparkling water. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Sparkling water's all right. Sparkling water's all right. I'm all right with that. Yeah. It's not bad. Not the worst. But see, we got something for you there. Just saying. I will get those out to you guys though in the email tomorrow evening. I will get those out to you guys tomorrow evening. But yeah, I'm okay with the sparkling water. Carbonated water is not bad. Pellegrino, I usually if I do drink it, I usually drink like a Pellegrino. The light in here is so bright. hmm Any questions? Any additional questions that we have that we want to discuss? How's the progress? How you feeling, Wandy? How you feeling physically? Did you have a lot of complications that you had to overcome, or did you kind of breeze through it? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Play a little background. See, we got people on YouTube too. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Like, like on Facebook, you can't see the YouTube people. YouTube can't see the Facebook people. But on my end, I can see everybody that's there. So works for me. Yeah, that's not called the flu. That's called the detox. You're not the only one that experienced that in the program itself. By the way, in the beginning of the fast, I had a pretty extreme reaction that I'm getting over. That is part of this type of detox. So I don't think that is the flu. I think that is the detox. Your body was trying to remove uh, viral infection, maybe bacterial infection. The body hides things when we're just eating the way that we're eating. But when we starve the body, for a viral infection. But what I'm saying is that we can have these things dormant in the body. We can suppress them. But once you start taking away the sugars from the body, that's really going to expose what's really going on in the body. And a detox is a removal of waste overall. So you are going to have symptoms, very flu-like symptoms too. I have somebody who had, pretty violent bowel movements. But these are part of starving the body of sugar. Really, that's what it is. We're starving the body of sugars. But yeah, testing positive for flu is basically testing positive for viral antibodies and stuff like that. So, and most of us have a level of it already. Once it gets to a certain stage, then it's like considered positive, kind of like, everybody has cancer cells, but once you get to a certain stage, you're considered cancerous. And when you start removing these things from the body, like the glutens and the starches and the dairies and the things that create glucose, you start forcing the body to eat itself and to see what's there, so to speak. So I do think that part of that is just keeping sugar out of the body is going to expose things in the body, and it's going to start dealing with things in the body. But you have what you need to overcome it for sure. And it should be a quick fight. you shouldn't be struggling with the flu for the next week. You should be pretty in and out, maybe 2-3 days max. When you're eating healthy, you're not putting inflammatory substances in the body. You're keeping the respiratory system clear, and your immune system free of gluten and starch and dairy and all these things. You should get over these things kind of quickly. So, God willing, you get over that quickly. But don't revert back or resort back to uh, heavy gluten or starch or any of those substances that are just going to prolong. They make the flu worse. Then you start getting congested, because once you start eating those, you get constipated, and once you're constipated, you can't remove waste, and if you can't remove waste, then everything is going to get worse. You have to be able to remove waste to get these things out of the body so the body can feel better about itself. Yes. Any questions on YouTube? X? Got a couple questions here on Facebook. All right. Again, tomorrow we're going to go live at 8 p.m. to wrap it up. We'll be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. That's when we're going to start wrapping up the fast. I'll get those certificates out to you guys that are in the program. Yeah, I'm okay with seeds. Whole grains are actually seeds too, like rice. Like wild rice, that's actually a seed. You just hydrate it before you eat it and warm it up. Quinoa, that's actually a seed as well. So seeds are okay. Nuts, seeds, whole grains, that's where you're going to get your protein, calcium, dietary fiber, high levels of iron from. So I would say hemp seeds are okay. Pumpkin seeds are okay. Sesame seeds are okay. I would probably, even probably some sunflower seeds. Yep. If you're not going to soak them ahead of time, chew them well. Chew them very, very good. Chew them all the way up, and then stay hydrated so that your body can try to extract. Coconut, yes. Cashews in moderation. Coconut, yes, for sure. Cashew in moderation. Coconut has pretty good iron for you too. I sit in this chair and I work out. See, I got this weight right here. What we do is we pull this weight up right here, then we go up like this. Then we bring it down, and then we put it down, and then we bring it back up like this, and then we put it back down like this, and then we bring it back up like this. And this is a 25-pound kettlebell. 25-pound kettlebell, by the way. Love these things. You can just kind of throw this thing around and get some good work in. I did 3 on this side, so I got to do 3 on this side. Otherwise, my body won't feel like it's even. I need my chair back so it can be kind of inclined. But yeah, these kettlebells are really good. I keep them next to my office. I keep just so I can, like, if I feel like working out, then I do. All right. That was exciting. Quick little workout. Not a workout, you know what I'm saying. It's a quick little activity. Yeah, coconuts and cashews. Coconuts are good. Cashews in moderation. Brazil nuts in moderation. Almonds in moderation. Meaning just a handful a day of those. You can do more. Pumpkin seeds, you can do much more. Hemp seeds, you can do a little bit, more. Wild rice, quinoa, but again, because those are seeds, but considered grains. Sesame seeds you can sprinkle all over your food, like they do in Asia. They sprinkle sesame seeds on all their food. It's a way for them to absorb nutrition as well. So yes, yeah, yeah, that would be great with your salad, especially with your salad. Yeah, that would be great, especially with your salad, because your salad is going to help everything pass through quicker. So yeah, I would mix it in a salad. That would be a great place to mix it in. Nice bear, you could throw berries in there. You could throw little fruits in there too and stuff like that. Yes, ma'am. I think that would do great. Stay hydrated, especially because you're dealing with a little bit of flu. So we want to make sure you stay hydrated. And again, when nature teaches us, animals when they get sick in the wild and stuff, they stop eating until they feel better. They don't keep putting waste in their body, food that turns into waste while they have things going on inside. They kind of keep it. They drink water and they kind of get rest until they feel better. So we want to kind of follow that suit. You know, we want to minimize our consumption when we are not feeling our best. Again, I had some complaints about people once the fast started after a couple of days. I feel terrible. I feel like this. I feel, and I said, hey, it just there's gonna be a level of discomfort. There's gonna be a level of detox, of purging in the body. You're purging the body that doesn't feel good. It will mimic illness. It will mimic sickness. But in reality, you're just getting rid of parasites. You're getting rid of viral and bacterial infection. It's trying to stay in your body. It's trying to force your body to go back to what you were doing, but you can't. You can't. You got to get it out. It's like it's crying, like, no, I don't want to leave. No, you have to leave. You have to go out. We have to remove you from the body. That's the mind frame behind it. You know? Dun, 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 dun. Mhm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Electrolytes, I love the electrolytes because for me, they're the most hydrating. They're the most hydrating. Actually, let me show you. I got one here. Here. Drink me a juice. It's a fresh squeezed juice there. Yeah, electrolytes are great. They make me feel great too. They make me feel more fulfilled. They make me, yeah, like they'll stop the cravings better. Um, because especially even caffeinated teas, because caffeine kind of blocks your sensors, but electrolytes ignite those sensors, and we want to ignite. We don't want to block. So that's good that that you're having that experience with the electrolytes. Mm, 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 mm. I'm gonna get rest though today. I'm gonna go to sleep early today. And I'm going to wake up late tomorrow if it be the Lord's will. All right. I don't want to be on too long though. Any suggestions to teaspoon of honey, tablespoon of honey every day. Tablespoon of honey would be great. You can have those in the morning with your liquids. A tablespoon of honey would be great. Also, you can also do a teaspoon of olive oil. You can also do that, help break down any inflammation in the respiratory tract. Try to get that out of the body. Making sure when you wake up in the morning, if there's any phlegm that has maneuvered its way into your sinuses or into your throat, to expel it. Make sure you get that out of your sinuses, blowing your nose, spitting it out. Another way, probably even a ice pack, a little ice pack, something on your chest if you feel like, this is, just cool it down. Try to take deep breaths through your nose, but your nose may be congested, so try to clear that out. And then if that's the case, then breathe slowly. See, no congestion. The more you breathe through your nostrils, the better. Try not to breathe through your mouth. Your mouth is not made for breathing. Your mouth is made for speaking and for eating and chewing. Your nose is made for breathing. Your nostrils are the breathing apparatus of the body. So yeah, I would probably do some honey. I would probably do a teaspoon of olive oil regularly, just to break up anything that's in that respiratory system that's causing the irritation or inflammatory response. Cool down that chest area if possible. If you feel like, this is a lot, cool it down. You ever seen a boxer like is going through a fight and they put that ice pack on his chest and because it helps him breathe better. So I wouldn't suggest like Vicks, but I would suggest aromatherapy. You can have some eucalyptus or some tea tree or something, peppermint. Even if you took a little bit and kind of put it on your shirt or something here so that the aroma can help clear up the sinuses too, okay? You can also put it in a pot and steep it. You can steep it for aromatherapy, or you can put it in the diffuser. The diffuser is okay as well. Those all would help out, in my opinion, and my experience. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. But I'm glad that you're working it out, Wandy. I had a buddy of mine that was going through some stuff. He's in the program. He was going through some stuff, but he's working it out. And he's a teacher, so he's with the kids and feeling well. And it's like, yeah. But if you look back on the intro, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. If you look back on the intro and day 2, the second live, I did mention that you can't. Sometimes the detox will make you feel like you're actually going through an illness, but that's really the body trying to remove what's been dormant in the body for a while. The body will suppress things. Sometimes people have issues and they don't know for years that they have these issues. Then they start getting into shape and it's like, hey, I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I was dealing with that. Yeah, because when you're inflamed, when you're overly inflamed, you're not going to realize some of these things. But once you're trying to change the structure and what you're feeding the body, whatever's feeding off of the body is going to have a problem with it once you start changing their food source or taking away their food source, like parasites. parasites will create problems for you when once you stop giving them the glucose that they feed off of. So, it doesn't feel good. It makes you feel terrible, makes you feel sick at times, gives you like ridiculous cravings, but that's part of cleaning the body out. It's part of cleaning the body out. So we got to stick to it. Stick to itiveness, like my brother Elijah says. Stick to itiveness. All right, all right. Any questions? Any additional questions that we have here? These are kind of quick check-ins throughout the week that we want to do. Tomorrow will probably be a little lengthier one to wrap up the program. If there are any holistic or health questions that you guys want to ask, feel free to drop them in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, or whether you're on X, formerly known as Twitter. All right. And if there's not any additional questions or engagement, I am going to call it a day for the check-in. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to wrap this up at 8 p.m. tomorrow. I will send an email out with all the links of all the live sessions that we've had so far, and then another link to tomorrow's live session. It would be great if you guys can subscribe on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@ the Natural Branches Live. The Natural Branches Live. That's where you would find us on YouTube, okay? Yeah. It is possible for a person to be in such bad condition. Well, the question is it possible for a person to be in such bad condition that 7 days is not long enough to see good results? It is possible that 7 days may not be long enough to see good results. But in 7 days, you should definitely see some weight loss. Okay. If you stick to it in 7 days, you should definitely see some weight loss. And that is a form of result. Even if you only lost 5 pounds, do you know how much 5 pounds is? I wish I had a 5-pound weight here. 5 pounds is 5 pounds. That's a lot of weight. But also, it doesn't mean that you have to stop the regimen. You've engaged the body with the herbs and the antioxidity. You're helping to regulate, you're helping to remove waste. But in my opinion, you should keep the regimen going. The liquid still 12, fruit still 2, greens still 4, vegetables still 6. I would still, 7 days is long enough to create a habit. So I would still try to keep teas going regularly in the morning hours, still do the liquids, like what you are learning is what you should be doing. It shouldn't just be for 7 days. I'm sharing with you the regimen for 7 days and what we should be doing for 7 days. I'm sharing that with you for the process of 7 days, but it should not be a 7-day commitment overall. You should say, okay, now I know how to eat. Now I know I got to keep my food groups separate. Now I know I should be eating certain food groups early in the day and other food groups later in the day. Now I know I should be surrounding the meat that I eat with vegetables and being careful with the portions. Now I know I should not be eating meat and grains together because it slows down the digestive process a bit too much. Now I know that gluten is always going to be bad for me and starch is always going to be bad for me. So they're not really foods. These are hybrids. So now that I know this, I'm going to stay away from it permanently. But it took me 7 days of a program to understand it, to see some of the effects of it, and then to shift my lifestyle. Because that's what it is. It's not really a detox. It's a change in lifestyle. You're just practicing that lifestyle for 7 days. If you really want to lock it down, stay on that regimen for 21 days. Anything you do for 21 days can definitely be instilled as a good habit. But if you do something bad for 21 days too, it's even harder to get rid of it, to stop doing it. So it is possible for a person to see good results in 7 days, but at the same time, you can't undo 20, 30, 40, 50 years of damage in 7 days. You can't undo it all. You can only give your body a spark and some hope and some relief and some rest. Resting that digestive system for 18 hours a day is part of the process. You know, hydrating your body with the different minerals and electrolytes. Or that's something that's the body's like, what is this? What's going on? I've never experienced this. And internally, cells, that's what they're feeling, and then that's what you're ultimately expressing. Whatever you're feeling inside is what ultimately manifests into an expression. So you do want to keep it going, okay, Daphne? And I got something for you, Daphne. I got something for you. I don't know if you just popped in the live, but I'm going to be excited. I'll be sending this to you tomorrow. 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 Yes, I'm excited to send you over your certificate of completion for the 7-day detox. Okay. Yep, I'll be sending that over to you in your email so you can have that there, okay? All right. Are there any other questions? Any questions, any inquiries? Any questions, any inquiries? Anything about health or wellness or food or holistic healing, herbs, supplements, sea moss? All right. Anybody on Twitter? And for those on Facebook, you see me answering the question, but the question's actually from someone on YouTube because we are streaming on different platforms. So sometimes the people on YouTube won't see who I'm replying to because they're on a different platform. Sometimes the people on Facebook won't see who I'm replying to because they're on a different platform, etc. Wandy, I will say a no for tofu. I would shift over to lion's mane mushrooms, fresh lion's mane mushrooms, and fresh oyster mushrooms. I would do oyster mushrooms or lion's mane mushrooms for a meat replacement, but I would not do tofu because one, it's a hybrid, and two, they process it in a weird way. There's a lot of cross-contamination in their processing. And three, the levels of estrogen in the tofu were alarming. I'll say that. I'll say it's alarming. So if you have a history of hormonal imbalancing, I would stay away from soy, tofu. I would stick to the mushrooms. I really like making mushroom burgers too, like portobello. I put them on a grill, nice little grill, throw a little sauce on them, season them up, let them dry out just a little bit. What is your main source of protein? My main source of protein is the same source of all animals: nuts, seeds, and whole grains. That's where protein is going to come from. You can also get proteins from some greens, but the highest source of protein is going to be nuts, Seeds and whole grains. Yeah, I'll show you here. This is some nuts. I mean, some seeds. Pumpkin seeds, to be exact. You see what it says there? Sorry. Nuts, seeds, and grains. Get you some hemp seeds and look at the proteins on the hemp seeds. Get you some chickpeas, some garbanzo beans, and look at the amount of protein on the garbanzo beans. Some wild rice. Look at the protein composite, the property on the wild rice. On the quinoa, look at the protein on there. Even, these animals that are known for protein, look at their diet. Cows eat grass all day long. Lamb and goat, they eat grass pretty much all day long as well. Chickens, originally, they ate seed feed, a combination of a bunch of types of seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, just all these seeds. They used to eat seeds. So chickens were considered protein, but now they eat corn and soy. So they're very much sugar. They're very addictive at this point. People are addicted to sugar wings these days. That's why we suggest lean meats like turkey over chicken. But your best sources of protein are always going to be nuts, seeds, and whole grains. They're going to get you the highest amount of protein per serving. They're also going to give you good levels of iron. They're also going to give your bones calcium. And they're also going to give your body the dietary fiber that it needs to keep the guts clean. So hope I answered that question there for you. If anybody has any questions on any other platforms, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. I'm drinking my apple and pineapple juice. Any questions, any inquiries, anything that has come to mind, feel free to ask while we are live. Could you give examples of starchy vegetables besides potatoes? Yes. Beans, kidney beans, starch. What is the other bean? Kidney beans and the other common bean that people eat, like kidney beans, it's like red beans or whatever it is. But those are starch. Rice, white rice, brown rice, starch. Root vegetables, mostly starch. Carrots, starch. Cassava, starch. Yucca, starch. Those are examples of starch. And what happens is these starches, they don't have complete molecular structures. That's how they have a broken molecular structure. That means their DNA is not complete. The DNA of the food is not complete. Corn is very sugary, though. Corn is probably more sugar than it is starch. And the reason is because you can still poop out the corn, because corn is still a whole grain. Corn is still considered a whole grain because it stays whole through the entire digestive process. It means the corn is still strong enough to keep the body from turning it into a mushiness, a stickiness. But it is, the new corn, the yellow, pretty looking corn, that's like a hybrid. That is definitely a cultivated, a hybrid corn. The real corn is like a dark purple, different colory corn. That's the real corn. They're smaller, they have thinner kernels, you know. So, but corn, I try to avoid corn. And if you are going to eat corn, I wouldn't put mayonnaise, butter, and cheese on it, you know. And if you are going to eat corn, I would super chew it. Definitely super chew the corn. Chew, 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 chew. But a lot of root vegetables are starchy. You know, there's starch in cauliflower. There's starch in potato. I mean, broccoli has a composition of starch, not as much, obviously, as the root vegetables, but you know, anything that's hybrid is going to have a level of starch because it has to have a binder, and starch is a binder. So anything that is hybrid is going to have some type of starch in it. But the best examples outside of potatoes would be beans and rice and root vegetables. Those are going to give you the most problems. You're going to eat those, you're going to cook them, you're going to eat them, you're going to put them in the body, and they're going to turn into sticky mushiness into the body. And they're not going to be able to get through the small intestine. So they're going to float around your body until they get hard somewhere, create a plaque. That's the problem with them. They're not good for us. Any questions? Feel free. I'll shoot some more questions. Green peas. I'm okay with the green peas. They're okay. Plantains are considered a complex carb versus a starch. So plantains are considered a complex carb. That means your body can poop it out though. So I would say thumbs up on a plantain. Replace potatoes with plantains. Uh-huh. I would. I would. I would. And then as you develop, you know, depending on the walls that you hit in your health, you know, it doesn't mean you eat plantains every day, but it's a better substitute from eating plantain chips to replace regular chips uh, to smash plantains or you know the sweet plantains, but it is a better option. Green peas, I love me some green peas. I love me some green beans. Hmm. I like green foods. I am definitely a sucker for some green beans. Though, boy. I'll eat a bowl of those and a half, and come back for seconds and thirds. And Wanda, if you want, I'm not sure if you have the nutritional guide, but we do have a suggested non-inflammatory food list on the nutritional guide. If that's something that you wanted to get, just send me a quick email and I'll forward it over to you in the email. Hmm. All right. Any other questions? Any other inquiries? We're talking food. We're talking health. We're talking nutrition. Holistic healing. We're talking herbs. We're talking supplements. All right. Did I answer your questions? All right. Any additional questions, anybody? All right. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We're teeter-tottering towards an hour here. And don't forget, I'll send you guys over an email tomorrow. It's going to be the last live at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Saturday, 8 p.m. We're going to be going live again. To wrap up the program and go from there. Hopefully you can take some of the things that you've learned. 1 second here, yo. Yes, sir. Okay. I'll be there in a minute. I'm live right now. All right. All right, y'all. I got a call. Got someone in the store. So, but I will see y'all tomorrow, God willing. Be on the lookout for the email. If anybody does want the non-inflammatory food list or the nutritional guide, send me a quick email. Just reply to the email that I've been sending you guys out, and I'll reply with the document. Okay. Thank you guys for showing up. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, and everybody on X. And I will see y'all soon, God willing. Peace, peace.